Hi everyone. This is going to be a good lesson. I'm very excited about this lesson because we're going to learn another sight word today. So last week we learned the word A. Let me hold that up. And A, of course, is a lowercase letter, but it's also a sight word. Okay, I have a dog. I'm looking at him. I have a computer. I'm looking at that. I have a flashcard with the word A on it. And then this week we're going to learn the new sight word, my. Okay, and I told the kids, we did this yesterday on Zoom. I told the kids, it's not a sound out word, is it? Because if we tried to sound it out, M says and Y says yeah. So if you put those two sounds together, yeah, yeah, you can't do it. That's why it's called a sight word, because we have to memorize it. We have to put it in our brains. So we look at it, we spell it, M-Y, my. And then I said, close your eyes. Can you do it again? M-Y, my. And you want to picture it in your mind. Look at it again. M-Y, my. And then the best way to learn it is to use it in a sentence. So what I'm going to do is show you the pocket chart. So it's all set up from when we did S words last week. And then I have all those S words on the cards here. So I'm going to put this first in the pocket chart. Now we're not really making sentences yet because a sentence you need a few more words, right? We're just going to put a group of words together. And also I was going to show you that we read this on Zoom yesterday. And I just love these Nat Geo books because the first one, we just practiced the remember the one that all the good food that we said And then the second book had the sight word A in it, A Man in the Moon. And then this one was called My Sister. Now I read that with the kids on Zoom and everyone was here yesterday. So you can read that book today. I made a seesaw activity out of that. So what I had to do is I took a picture of every single page, but when I put it on Seesaw, it gets a little blurry. It looked great on my camera. It looked great. And then when I put it on there, it just, the quality isn't as good. But I think because I read it with the kids, it'll be good enough for them to read it. And there's only 2 words on each page. So there was my seesaw, my slide, my swing. So just get the kids to point to the words, okay? All right, and we're gonna practice the word my right here. And I think I'm gonna start with this one, okay? My sock. Okay, now that's not a whole sentence, is it? Okay, if we wanted to make it a sentence, we'd have to say my sock is blue or my sock has a hole in it, something like that. Okay, or we could do this one. Here's another word, my. I guess I only have 2 with me. That's okay. My soap. And yesterday when we did this on Zoom, some kids were saying, I said, put it in a sentence. My soap is soapy. My soap is bubbly. My soap smells good. Those were all good sentences. Okay, I'm just going to have to keep using the same one. There's sink. My sink that one's made out of metal or I guess stainless steel. My sink is in the kitchen. My sink is in the bathroom, we could say. All right, here's another one. You guys remember this one from our S words? Sled. My sled is for going down hills. My sled is for the snow. Here's another one. Stamp. So we're going to read, my stamp is on my envelope to mail, because I want to mail a letter. My stamp. Okay, how about this one? Does anybody have a swing set at their house? If you do, you say it's my swing, right? Okay, it belongs to you. If you're at the park, you're just borrowing it, but you can still say, this is my swing today. I'm going to swing on it. Okay, and then this one would be my saw. I'm going to use my saw. Michael said yesterday, my saw is very sharp, right? And this one is my sign. Okay, I see my sign in my neighborhood. Okay, good. So now I'm just going to come over here to the table and move the camera down. This will be a short little lesson. I hope. I don't like the lessons to get too long because then I know people don't want to watch them when they're too long. Because you have lots of work to do, right? But I like to go over it because this is how we would be doing it in the classroom. So parents, you might have to search for these pages because I have already taken out, remember, let me go over it real quick again if I can find it. I hope I can find the one that I'm looking for. Yeah, here it is. So remember, this is just a page to review and work on S. So the kids, you could mix all these up, and then when they take it out of the pile, this is an S. This is a word my. This is a word a. So they're not giving us flashcards yet, but they do later on. Okay, once we get, I think maybe 6 sight words, or it might be 8, then they give you a set of, like, you know, flashcards you can cut apart too. Okay, so please look for this page. Down on the bottom it says 2. This is our second unit, I guess, and page 5. And right up in the corner it says we're practicing our word my. And we're going to do exactly what we did last week, but last week it was the word a. Okay, the word my is a label. You're labeling things. This is my chair I'm sitting on. This is my desk. This is my pencil. Okay, so it shows ownership. So you're going to just put a check if you have these things in your house. Okay, you can go around and look at them. This actually works better at your house than it does at school. Because if we were doing this at school, we wouldn't have some of these things. Okay, so you're going to read it to somebody. And don't forget to put your name. I'm just going to real quickly write Mrs. J. I probably don't need to say that anymore, right? The first thing we do is always the same. Pick out a pencil and write your name. All right, so my chair. You just read it. Okay, this one says my book. I have lots of books here in this little office of mine. This says my socks. I'm going to put a check on it. This one says my pencil. You already saw I have a nice big red pencil here. This one says my soccer ball. Hey, that's going to be in the little book too, isn't it? This one says my jacket. Oh, you know what? I know that I don't have a soccer ball at my house, but I'm still going to check it. I think if you read it, and if you either have one or you've seen one before, you can check it. This one says my crayon. I have a whole basket full of crayons right here. This one says my shoes. I actually am barefoot right now, but I have lots of shoes in my closet. My glue. I'm looking at a bottle of glue right now. My scissors. I also have my scissors. So this is just practicing to read. Now, parents, I was going to do this page, but I didn't realize that the story they want me to read is called Geo and His Family, and I have that story at school, and I'm headed to school today, and so I'm going to bring that book home. Or I might do the lesson from school. So we're going to hang on to this one, okay? So hang on to that one, and then we're going to go to this one. And then the same thing. We're going to hang on to the back, and we'll do those both on the same day. Those are more comprehension, okay? So when you read a story, we want the kids to understand it. That's why they do either sequencing or draw a picture of the main idea. Okay, now this one is great because you actually get to write the word my. And I had the kids write the word my on Zoom yesterday. So, okay, what you want to do is the first one says my sandwich. You want to just trace it. Okay, and then when you write it over here, I really want you to use lowercase letters. And lowercase m does not start at the top. So parents, if you need to, put a dot in the middle so that the kids put it in the right spot. So we do an M and a Y. And I know Y's a little hard, but watch. I'm just going to make a slant line down, and then I come up, and then I make a really big slanted line. And it should go underneath the bottom line, right? So I would tell the kids, you started in the fence, but then Y goes under the ground. This is where the roots grow, right? It's down under the ground. Okay, so this one is my sandwich, my socks. This one is my school. Oh, I hope we can go back and say, I love my school. This one is I don't have my glasses on. I think that's a sled. Yes, it is. Now I know that I told the kids yesterday, it sounds like an I. If we were sounding it out, we would probably spell the word my, M-I. And if you are just sounding out your words and just having fun and trying to write a story, that is perfectly fine because that's called phonetic spelling. But when you learn how to write it correctly, then we want you to write it correctly, okay? Otherwise, you're writing it the wrong way, and then it's hard to break a bad habit. So we know that my is M-Y because it's our second sight word. My swing set and my soap. So I don't think those 2 pages are going to take very long. You can color it if you want, but you don't have to. That would be kind of extra. The pictures are kind of small. You might want to use colored pencils or crayons, but yeah, you don't have to. That's optional, okay? So these 2 pages today, they both practice our new sight word my, and then please go on Seesaw today because I want the kids to read that book, My Sister, and record their voice reading it. It shouldn't take very long because it's really short. There's only 2 words on each page. Okay, thank you, bye.